Hello students, myself Shashmita Mahapatra. Today I am going to teach you Geography from Social Science Contemporary 1 and the name of the chapter is Drainage. This chapter is divided into 6 units. Number 1, Drainage System of India. Number 2, Drainage Patterns. Number 3, the Himalayan Rivers. Number 4, the Peninsular Rivers. Number 5, it's all about lakes. The role of rivers in the economy. And the last, it's all about river pollution. So let's know about this chapter, drainage. Coming to the word drainage, what do you mean by the word drainage, children? What does this term drainage describe? Drainage describes about a river system. Any land which is drained by a single river and with tributaries, then it is called a drainage basin. You might have seen the Ganga river basin, the Brahmaputra river basin, the Indus river basin. So those are called the drainage basin. Generally, when a single river along with number of its tributaries, they join together and they spread over an area, then we call it to a drainage basin. When an upland or a mountain or a highland, it divides more than one drainage basin, then that particular area is called to be a water divide. Can you name the largest drainage basin in this world? It is the Amazon River Basin. Where is it located? It lies in South America. When a river flows through the landform, it mostly makes different type of patterns. A river system mostly make 4 different type of pattern. Number 1 is dendritic pattern. Second one, the trellis. The third one, rectangular. And the last one is called the radial pattern. Let's move on to the very first one. It's about the dendritic pattern. What is dendritic? When a river, it joins by its tributaries just like the branches of a tree, then we call it to dendritic pattern. When the small rivers or the tributaries, they join the main river at right angle and they remain parallel to one another, that pattern is called trellis pattern. Whereas a rectangular drainage pattern, they are developed on a strongly jointed rocky terrain. The last but not the least, that's about radial pattern. Radial is a pattern that generally this kind of pattern develops in a mountain. And those rivers, the small streams, they generate or they radiate almost in all directions from the mountain top. When they flow in different directions, then we call it to radial pattern. So this is all about your drainage pattern. Now, before going to the different river systems in India, let's know about some of the important features made by the rivers. When a river flows from a mountain, the entire course of the river is divided into 3 different parts. The upper course, the middle course and the lower course. These 3 courses of the river is generally mostly they are compared with the 3 stages of a human life. That is the young stage, the mature stage and the old stage. The upper course is mostly always compared with which stage, children? That is the young stage of the person or young stage of the river, you can also tell. Similarly, the middle course of the river is known as the mature stage of the human being or the mature stage of the river itself. Last but not the least, it's about the lower course. Similarly, the lower course of the river is compared with the old stage of a human being. Now let me tell you about the upper course. When the river flows from the mountain top, the speed, the force of the river is very strong, very powerful. It flows very fast and very swiftly. When the river flows, it cuts down the rock, it cuts down the hard stones, and that mostly the main action of the river over there is erosion. Because of this, number of features are formed like your V-shaped valley, U-shaped valley and many more things. When the river leaves the mountain slope and touches the foothills of the mountain, that starts its middle course of the river. Generally in the middle course of the river, a river forms number of features such as meanders, oxbow lake, floodplains, etc. Coming to the last stage of the river, that is the old stage or the lower course. During the lower course, the river carries lot of silts, sediments on its bed. Unable to carry those loads, it starts depositing. And it creates lot of features. The most important feature is called to be the delta. What is a delta? Delta is a triangulated fertile land formed by the silt and sediments brought by these rivers by its distributaries. Here I would like to tell you about the difference between tributary and the distributary. When small streams they join the main river in the upper course of the river, they are known as tributaries. During the lower course of the river, when the river splits into small channels, each channel is called distributary. Can you name some of the examples of tributary and distributary? Let me tell you. Tributary, you can name your river Yamuna, river Gandak, river Kosi of the main river, river Ganga. Whereas the distributary, it is river Hooghly of the same river, river Ganga. Let us know more about the drainage system in India. The total drainage system in India is divided into two parts. One is the Himalayan rivers, the other one is called the peninsular river. What are Himalayan rivers, children? Means the rivers, those who have their source at Himalayas are called the Himalayan rivers. These Himalayan rivers are snow-fed, so also rain-fed. So these rivers are mostly, generally they are called the perennial rivers. What are perennial rivers? The rivers, those who carry water throughout the year in their courses, then it is called to be the perennial river. And these rivers, they are very fast flowing rivers. They carry a lot of water in their course. The Himalayan rivers are generally very long and their course remains very long from their source till the sea. Some of the examples of the Himalayan rivers, the river Ganga, the river Brahmaputra, and you know children, this river Ganga and river Brahmaputra have been cut by this Himalayas, which has made a water divide. These Himalayan rivers, they have made many features. Features like the meanders, oxbow lakes and floodplains. Coming to the next one, the peninsular river. This peninsular river, they have their origin from the central highlands of our country called India. The major rivers, those who flow through this peninsular plateau, they are known as to be the peninsular river. They are Narmada and Tapi. They flow to the west, that is towards the Arabian Sea. Whereas Mahanadi, river Godavari, river Krishna, river Kaveri, they flow towards east and they have their mouth at Bay of Bengal. These peninsular rivers are also known as seasonal river. Why are they called so? Because they are generally rain-fed rivers. And these peninsular rivers are shorter than that of the Himalayan rivers. Coming to the very first river system under the Himalayan river. They are the Indus river system. You know children, where does the source of this river Indus lie? River Indus rises in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar. It enters in India in Ladakh. Some of its major tributaries are the Jaskar, the Nubra, the Shyok and the Hansa. Leaving this, some other tributaries are Satluj, Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum and Bias. They meet river Indus in Pakistan. The total length of this river is 2,900 km. It flows through Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab and the rest of it is in Pakistan. You know children, due to the water dispute among India and Pakistan, one treaty was signed in the year 1960 and that was called the Water Treaty. And according to this treaty, India can only use 20% of the total water of the river Indus. Moving on to the next one, it is the Ganga river system. You know children, this is the holiest river of India. And it rises from the Gangotri glaciers. The headwater of this river Ganga is known as Bhagirathi, which rises from this Gangotri glacier. On its way, it meets with Alaknanda at Devprayag. After this, Alaknanda and Bhagirathi they join together and re-emerges at Haridwar as the river Ganga. As you all know, students, the Ganges, which is called to be the Ganga, is a transboundary river of Asia which flows through India and also Bangladesh. This river has originated from the Gangotri glacier of western Himalayas in the Indian state of Uttarakhand and flows south and east through the Gangetic plain of India and Bangladesh, eventually emptying into the Bay of Bengal. The Ganges or the river Ganga is a lifeline to millions who live along its course. It is a sacred river and worshipped as the goddess Ganga in Hinduism. It has been important historically. Many former provincial or imperial capital such as you must be knowing Prayag, Dhaka, Berhampur, Bikrampur, Kannauj, Kara, Kashi, etc. have been located on its bank. You know, students, the Ganga is threatened by severe pollution. This poses a danger not only to the human but also to the animal. The Ganga is the home to approximately 140 species of fish, 90 species of amphibians. The river also contains reptiles and mammals, including critically endangered species such as gharial, South Asian river dolphin. The levels of fecal coliform bacteria from human waste in the river near Varanasi are more than 100 times the Indian government's official limit. The total length of this river is 2,500 km. Some of its important tributaries are the river Yamuna, the Ghagra, the Gandak, the Kosi are the major tributaries of this river. Out of this, your river Yamuna, which is a tributary, it runs more or less parallel to the river Ganga. And this river has come out from the glacier called Yamunotri Glacier. Some other tributaries are the Chambal, the Betwa, the Son. They join river Ganga from the peninsular uplands. The mouth of river Ganga lies at the Bay of Bengal. As I have already discussed about this delta, let me tell you more about what is a delta. Delta is a fertile land which is triangular in shape and it is formed by the deposition brought by the river. This delta is derived from a Greek alphabet which is called delta and which is written as triangle. As this fertile land is a triangular fertile plain, thus also this is called to be a delta. You know, children, which is the largest delta in the world? It is our Sundarban delta formed by the deposition brought by river Ganga, so also river Brahmaputra. And this is not only the largest delta in the world, it is also famous for the Royal Bengal tiger. Do you know, children, where is the Sundarban delta located? It is located in West Bengal in India and Khulna division of Bangladesh. Let's learn more about this Sundarban delta. This is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of the river Ganga, Brahmaputra and the Meghna rivers in the Bay of Bengal. It spans from the Hooghly River in India's state of West Bengal to the Balasore River in Bangladesh. It comprises closed and open mangrove forests, agriculturally used land, mud flats and barren land, and is intersected by multiple tidal streams and channels. Coming to the next one, it is the Brahmaputra river system. It rises from Tibet very close to Lake Mansarovar. It flows eastward very parallel to the Himalayas. It takes a U-turn at a place called Namcha Barua in Arunachal Pradesh and enters into India by creating a gorge. What is a gorge? A gorge is formed by a river system. When a river flows through a mountain, it cuts the mountain slope into straight wall. Then we call it to a gorge. Before entering into India, this river Brahmaputra is known as Sangpo in Tibet. When it enters into India along with the river Dibang and Lohit, then it enters to Assam and it is known as the Brahmaputra. Let me tell you some facts about this Brahmaputra river. This river, while flowing through Tibet, where it is known as the Sangpo, it used to carry very less water as because it crosses through an arid region. The moment it enters into India, because of heavy rainfall, it carries lot of water, due to which every year river Brahmaputra causes floods in Assam. Due to this reason, Brahmaputra is also known as the sorrow of Assam. Like Damodar is known as the sorrow of Bengal. Let us move on to the peninsular rivers. As you already know, the peninsular rivers are also known as the seasonal rivers. The rivers, those are found in the peninsular area, they are known to be the peninsular river. They are river Narmada, river Tapi, river Mahanadi, river Godavari, river Krishna and river Kaveri. Coming to the Narmada river, it originates in Amarkantak hills and flows and creates a gorge in the marble rocks of Madhya Pradesh. It mainly flows towards the west in the Rift Valley formed due to the faulting. All the tributaries of river Narmada are very short and most of these they join the main stream at right angles. The states through which it flows are Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Coming to the next one, the Tapi river. Tapi rises in the Satpura range in the Birut district of Madhya Pradesh and it flows through a basin that covers the places called Gujarat, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Next one is about the Godavari river system. The river, it originates from Nasik district of Maharashtra. It is the largest peninsular river. Its length is about 1,500 km and this river drains into Bay of Bengal. Godavari is joined by many of the tributaries such as Purna, Wardha, Pranita, Manjra, Venganga and Penganga. And it is called to be the Dakshin Ganga, or in English we call the Ganga of the South. Coming to the next one, it is the river Mahanadi and it rises in the place called Chhattisgarh and it flows through Odisha and it also drains into the Bay of Bengal. The total length of river Mahanadi is 860 km. This river flows through Maharashtra, Odisha, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. Coming to the next one, let us discuss about the river Kaveri. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats and it reaches the Bay of Bengal in the south of the place called Kuddalar, that is in Tamil Nadu. The total length of this river Kaveri is about 760 km. Some of its main tributaries are the Amravati, the Bhavani, the Hemavati and the Kavini. This basin drains parts of some of the important states. Those are Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Coming to the last but not the least, the river Krishna. This river, the total length of this river is about 1,400 km. Bhima, Musi, Ghatprabha, Koyna and Tungabhadra are some of its tributaries. This Krishna basin, it flows through Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. One more thing regarding this river Krishna, it is having the second biggest waterfall in India, which is known as the Shivasundaram. Can anyone tell me which is the largest waterfall in our country called India? It is the Jog Fall in Karnataka. Let's discuss about the lakes. What are lakes, children? Lakes are pool of water which is larger than a pond but smaller than a sea or the bays. And this water body is bounded by land all around it. Different type of lakes are there. Some are called to be freshwater lake, some are called to be the saltwater lake and some are known to be the oxbow lake. Some of the examples of freshwater lakes are Dal Lake, Bhimtal Lake, Ular Lake And you know children, the Ular Lake is the largest lake in India. When we'll talk about the saltwater lake, the best example is your Sambar Lake in Rajasthan, so also Chilika Lake. But the Chilika Lake is also called to be a lagoon. What is a lagoon? Lagoon is the backwater of the sea is called a lagoon. Coming to the next type of lake is called to be the Oxbow Lake. It is a U-shaped body of water that forms when a wide meander from the main stream of the river is cut off. That creates a lake, and the lake is called to be an Oxbow Lake. Moving on to the importance of lake. Lakes play a major role in the life of the human being. It not only regulates the flow of the river, it also prevents flooding, it moderates the climate of a place, it maintains aquatic ecosystem, so also enhances natural beauty and promotes tourism. Coming to the next segment, it is about the role of the river in our economy. What is the role of the river in the life of a human being? It plays a very major role in the life of the human being, not only by providing its water but also for living. It not only provides land for agriculture but also it provides land for settlements. You may be knowing about the Indus Valley civilization, or you name any of the civilization, they have grown, they have settled near the river valleys. Coming to the other section of the role of the river in our economy, for agriculture, for industry, for drinking, for transportation, as a food source, for recreation, for tourism, and you also extract minerals from this river system or from the river water. So also it is helpful for the animal, for the plant, and it is a habitat for the aquatic animal as well. Coming to the river pollution. What are the causes of river pollution? You know children, due to the heavy demand of agricultural production, urbanization, industrialization, the river water is getting polluted. Lot of water is being extracted from the river for various purposes. At the same time, the effluents, that is from the industrial effluents, the sewage are being connected to the river water, by which they are creating lot of river pollutions. Those they lead the river pollution. So how to stop this river pollution? We may not stop the river pollution, but we can check the river pollution. So, the National River Conservation Program has been launched in the year 1985 with the name called the Ganga Action Plan Phase 1. These have been applied to the major polluted rivers of the country under this NRCP. The Ganga Action Plan Phase 2 has been merged with this NRCP, by which the target is to clear 1 million liters of sewage to be intercepted, diverted and treated. Thus, we come to the end of the chapter, the drainage. So, what did you learn from this chapter, drainage? It's all about the river system, the way they have created the river basin, and how the rivers are important in our life. What major role do they play in our life system? May it be river from the Himalayas, may it be the river from Peninsular Plateau, how they are quite significant in the life of the human being. Let me ask few questions to you all students. Name the largest river in the south. Right? The answer is the Godavari, which is otherwise called the Ganga of the south or Dakshin Ganga. Name the largest fall in India. It is the Jog Fall, situated in Karnataka. Name the two rivers, those who meet at Haridwar. It is Bhagirathi and Alaknanda. Which place is called to be the Tribeni Sangam, children? It is Allahabad, because of the meeting of three rivers, River Ganga, River Yamuna and River Saraswati. What do you mean by NRCP? It is the National River Conservation Plan. In which year this NRCP Phase 1 initiated? It is the year in 1985. So that's all about this chapter, drainage. I hope you might have understood well. Okay. So next class we'll discuss about another chapter, that is about climate, the climate of India. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.